Welcome to our lesson on calculating sales tax. Alright, so as you can see at the top of our page, sales tax is additional money charged on items that people buy. The total cost of an item is the regular price plus the sales tax. If you have highlighters at home, you might want to highlight that. Again, it's the regular price plus a little bit of extra money, which is called sales tax. In Deerfield, well, in some parts of Deerfield, the sales tax is 9%. That's on regular items like shoes or hats and really just anything you go to the store and buy. Food and drug tax is a little bit cheaper, so any food that you buy or any medicine that you buy, it's got a little bit of a lower tax. It's 2.25%. Now, if you look over here to the right, I also listed Gurney's sales tax, which is a little bit lower. It's 7.5%. And then the food and drug sales tax, which is 1.75%. Now, we're not going to use this until tomorrow, but I decided to add in the town that I live in so that we could make a few comparisons. But again, today we're just going to be focusing on the general sales tax rate of Deerfield, which is 9%. Okay, on with the notes. Remember, we are computing money. We're talking about sales tax, people, so we need to round to the nearest hundredth. Because that would be the nearest cent or penny. They can't ask you at the store for 1.5 pennies. There's no such thing. So, for example, if something was $5 and it turned out to be $3.55, there's no such thing as this amount of money. We have to stop here. So we're going to look to our neighbor at the right and decide either we're going to stay at $5.35 or we're going to move up to $5.36. In this case, the 5 tells us to round up. So our sales tax or total would come to $5.36. That's just a really brief example that we'll be using more tomorrow, but also you'll need to know it for the third example on our page. All right, let's get started. I bought a pair of boots in Deerfield. Now again, if I'm buying boots in Deerfield, I'm going to be using the general sales tax rate, which is 9%. I bought a pair of boots in Deerfield. The price tag showed $50. What will my total cost be? Now, as we know, when we go up to check out at the register, they're not only going to charge us $50. They'll be charging us $50 and a little bit of extra for sales tax. So our total is the price of the boots, of course, plus the sales tax. In this case, we know what the price is. It's $50. The thing that we don't know is the tax, and that's what we're going to be solving for right now. In Deerfield, tax is 9% of whatever you're buying. In this case, it's 9% of $50. Well, if I'm going to type that into my calculator, I'm going to make 9% into a decimal, which we learned this unit means I'm moving the decimal place over twice to get rid of the percent. We move twice again because percent means per hundred, and 100 has 2 zeros. So we move that into a percent. We're going to drop this down as we learned in class of means multiply, and then I can type in the $50 on my calculator. When I type in 0.09 times 50, my calculator shows up with 4.5. But I know that that's not really a dollar amount, so I'm going to have to add the invisible zero. $4.50. Do my boots only cost $4.50? Well, of course not. That would be silly. That would be way, 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 way cheap. But what is this $4.50? That's right, it's the tax. So again, to find our total price, we're going to need to do the original price that was on the price tag plus that little bit of sales tax that we just calculated. So my grand total when I go to the checkout would be $50 plus $4.50 for a total of $54.50. Pretty easy, right? Now let's look at an algorithm so that we have a set of rules in order to solve. The first thing that we need to do is figure out, well, how much tax are we paying? To figure out how much tax we're paying, we're going to find the tax percent of the original price. We know that of means multiply. So in the example above, we found the tax, which was 9% of 50, or 0.09 times 50. The second step is the easy step. It's adding the answer to the original price. So we know that cost is price and or plus sales tax. In the case above, it was $50 plus $4.50 for a total of $54.50. So that's our algorithm. That's it. First find the sales tax, then add it to the original price. Let's try another example. This time, I want you to try it on your own. So please press pause until you're ready to check your answer with me. All right. It says, I bought a jacket from a store in Deerfield for $88. It's important to know that it's in Deerfield because different cities or towns have different tax rates. Here in Deerfield, our tax rate is 9%. So what will my total cost be if I have to pay for the jacket, $88, and the sales tax, 9%? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is find the tax. 9% of $88. 0.09 of means times 88. When I type that into my calculator, I get 7.92, which I know means $7.92. But again, my jacket doesn't cost $7.92. The sales tax costs that amount. So my total would be $88 plus $7.92. When I add that up, I get a grand total of $95.92. So when I check out, that's the total cost that I'm paying. All right, let's try one more final example. Like I mentioned earlier, because this is a little bit of a funky amount, we're going to need to round at the end. We're going to round to the nearest hundredth place, so keep that in mind. Please pause the video until you have solved this problem, and then check your answer with me. All right, I bought a hat for $19.99 from a store in Deerfield. What will my total cost be? Well, I'm not sure what the tax is yet, so I'm going to have to find out 9% of $19.99. $9 is written as a decimal, 0.09, of is multiply, and we're going to multiply it by $19.99. Now, when we do this in our calculator or by hand, we come up with this crazy number, 1.7991. There's no way that the store can actually ask you for $1.7991 in tax, because our smallest amount is pennies, which would be in the hundredth spot right there. Now, we're not just going to chop the rest of this off. We need to decide how to round it to the nearest hundredth. Whenever we round, we look to the neighbor at our right, which is him, here, the other 9. If it's a 5 and above, we round up. If it's a 4 or below, we stay the same. The 9 tells me to round up. One digit after 79 would be 80. So I know that I'm going to round this to $1.80. I bought a hat for $19.99 and my tax is $1.80. So my total cost is going to be $19.99 plus the tax, $1.80, for a total of $21.79. Hopefully you got that answer as well. On the back side are a couple of additional problems, but please don't do them yet. We're going to be doing them tomorrow. Hopefully you found this lesson on sales tax very educational. If not, and you're still having struggles, please go back and view the video one more time. Have a great night.